2 ingredients. One you might rub on sore knees. The other is a plain white powder from your kitchen. Individually, they're helpful, but mixed together, for senior men, this simple pair could be the key to calming your overactive bladder, easing that relentless pelvic pressure, and finally letting you sleep through the night. I know that sounds hard to believe, but stay with me because this isn't hype and it isn't a sales trick. This is not a miracle cure. It's not a trendy prostate supplement with a shiny label or a secret pill you have to order late at night. This is old school, the kind of remedy many families used quietly long before everything came in a plastic bottle. You've heard of castor oil. You've definitely heard of the other ingredient too. What most men don't realize is that when these two are combined the right way, they can work together inside the body in a way that directly affects the prostate, the bladder, and nighttime urination. I've seen this pattern for years. Men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s, sitting in my clinic, worn down from broken sleep, frustrated by urgency, and tired of adding yet another pill to the list. Not because they've done anything wrong, but because their bodies are changing in ways no one ever clearly explained to them. There's a quiet reason many seniors are returning to simple remedies like this, not out of desperation, but out of wisdom. I'm Dr. Katherine Rotker, a men's health specialist. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through how castor oil works, what the other ingredient does, and how this combination may help your prostate. If you're ready to explore, type "ready" in the comments below. This step matters to you. Let me tell you about one patient. I'll call him Henry. He's 72, a retiree with steady hands and a kind smile. When he came to me, the smile was still there, but his eyes were exhausted. "Doc," he said, "I've tried everything. The pills make me lightheaded. The herbal teas are a full-time job. I do the exercises, but my body still feels like it's slipping away. I'm up every hour, every night. I'm not looking for another pill." Henry wasn't just describing symptoms, he was talking about a loss of control, a piece of his identity that seemed to be slipping away with every interrupted night. You might know this feeling, that deep fatigue that comes from chasing solutions that don't quite work or that trade one problem for another. It's frustrating and it's lonely. But when Henry shared this, I knew he was ready for a different kind of approach. He was ready for something simple, something that worked with his body's own ability to find balance. His story is why I'm so passionate about what comes next. We'll start with the first ally, castor oil. Your mind might jump to a childhood spoonful, that thick, unpleasant memory. We're not doing that. That's internal use. We're doing something completely different. What I'm talking about is using this golden oil on your skin as a gentle, targeted therapy. Used this way, it becomes one of nature's most powerful support for deep tissue comfort, especially in the pelvic area. Castor oil is a thick, golden plant oil pressed from castor beans. Its power comes from being almost 90% ricinoleic acid, a unique compound that studies show has a real ability to reduce swelling and pain. Over time, circulation slows and tissues don't drain as well as they once did. Inflammation quietly settles in. You feel it as pressure, heaviness, or that constant urge to urinate. When you apply a bit of castor oil onto your skin, it doesn't just sit there. It too moves through the skin to reach muscles and tissues underneath, encouraging healthy circulation and drainage in the precise area. This improved circulation helps carry away the metabolic byproducts that contribute to discomfort and congestion in the pelvic region. Imagine applying warm castor oil to your lower abdomen where your bladder and prostate sit. For many men, this simple act can translate to a gradual release of that constant dull pressure, less stiffness in the hips, and critically, a calmer pelvic floor. The result isn't just physical relief, it's the first step toward uninterrupted sleep. One patient, a retired gentleman who'd struggled for years, told me, After a week, I woke up and realized there was no ache. I'd forgotten what that felt like. That's the kind of gentle, profound shift we're talking about. It's not a loud change, but a quiet return to comfort. Now, for the second part of this, that little white box in your pantry, the one you barely think about, ordinary baking soda. It turns out it may be doing far more than neutralizing odors. It may be quietly countering one of aging's biggest problems. As men age, the body can develop a slight, low-grade acidity. This isn't something you ate last night. It's a subtle shift in your internal environment. This acidic state can act as a constant irritant. It can make the lining of the bladder more sensitive and can worsen inflammation around the prostate. This often shows up as that feeling of urgent need, a slight burning sensation, or tissues that just feel chronically aggravated. Baking soda, also called sodium bicarbonate, helps nudge things back toward balance. It helps shift that local environment toward a more neutral, less irritating state. When irritation settles down, the bladder doesn't overreact as easily. The urge eases. The pressure feels lighter. Research in urology supports the idea that managing this acidic shift can lead to meaningful improvements in urinary comfort. I remember a patient in his late 60s, an Army vet, added this to his routine. Within 10 days, his nightly trips were cut in half. It wasn't a loud change, he said. It was a quiet return to normal. I just started sleeping through the night again. That's the power of helping the body find its natural balance. When you combine this balancing effect with the deep, soothing penetration of castor oil, you're supporting your prostate and pelvic health in two very smart, complementary ways. So let's put this together into a simple, step-by-step routine you can start tonight. But before that, let me clear this up right now. You do not drink this. Ever. The entire benefit comes from what your skin can absorb. Think of this not as a treatment, but as a quiet evening ritual. No pills, no rushing, just 30 minutes of letting your body rest. You'll need 2 basic items. First, about 2 tablespoons of a good quality, cold-pressed castor oil. Warm it slightly so it feels comfortable, not hot. Second, 1 teaspoon of plain baking soda. You mix these together in a small dish until they form a smooth, spreadable paste. Take this paste and gently apply over your lower abdomen. Focus on the area below your navel, right over the pubic bone. This is where your bladder and prostate are located. Once it's applied, cover the area with a soft old cloth or a piece of flannel. Then place a standard heating pad set on low or a warm water bottle over the cloth. Leave it in place for about 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. This is where the magic happens. The warmth helps your skin relax and open up, allowing the castor oil to penetrate much deeper than it normally would. That rich oleic acid gets to work right where you need it, calming inflammation and encouraging healthy fluid movement in the pelvic tissues. At the very same time, the baking soda in the paste begins to neutralize that local acidic environment we talked about, soothing irritation from the outside in. You're attacking the problem from 2 angles, reducing swelling and calming the fiery environment that worsens it. It's a 1-2 punch for pelvic comfort. Do this 3 to 4 nights a week. Some may feel the difference in days, often starting with a sense of reduced pressure or better sleep. For others, it's a gradual shift over 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. This isn't a race. Think of it as a nightly ritual, a dedicated 30 minutes of sending your body the signal to heal, to drain, and to calm. You're not passively waiting, you're actively participating in your own relief. Let me share another case. One patient, 72, a precise former engineer, governed by logic, but his logic was failing him. "The data doesn't lie, doc," he said. 5 wake-ups per night. Sleep efficiency, poor. His exam showed a typical enlarged prostate, not a cancer scare, but pressing just enough on the bladder to disrupt everything. Medications left him dizzy and weak. He didn't want to trade one problem for another. We started this routine. He was skeptical, but consistent. 1 week later, the data changed. Last night, he reported with a triumphant smile. Sleep duration, 6 uninterrupted hours. Morning fatigue, significantly reduced. For him, it wasn't mystical. It was cause and effect. His body, given the right tools, remembered how to find balance. His story shows us that regaining control and achieving deep, uninterrupted sleep is often about consistent, simple support, not more complicated interventions. Before you begin, I need to share a few important guidelines for your safety. Even gentle, natural tools deserve care. The first step is simple and important. Perform a simple patch test. Apply a dime-sized amount of the paste to the skin on your inner arm and wait for 24 hours. If you notice any redness, itching, or discomfort, do not proceed. Most men do just fine, but skin can be sensitive, and this small step protects you. Second, only apply the mixture to clean, healthy skin. Do not use it on areas with a rash, cuts, scratches, or any sign of infection. The skin acts like a doorway, and it needs to be intact to work the way it should. Keeping the area clean helps the body respond calmly. Let me be very clear about this part. This mixture is for external use only. You do not swallow it. Ever. Everything we're talking about works through the skin, not through digestion. If you have a specific health condition, particularly high blood pressure, heart problems, kidney concerns, or you've been told to limit salt, you must discuss this with your personal doctor before starting. I say this because baking soda contains sodium, and it's always better to proceed with clarity and confidence. For the best results and safety, use this method in moderation. A session of 20 to 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week is perfectly sufficient. Listen to your body. You might feel a mild, comforting warmth from the castor oil and the heating pad. This is normal. If you feel any sharp pain, significant burning, or itching, you must stop immediately. Gently rinse the area with cool water and discontinue use. This routine supports mild prostate and urinary symptoms. If you ever experience severe pain, fever, blood in your urine, or sudden changes, get medical care immediately. Think of this as support, not a replacement for proper medical guidance. I want you to remember something important, something I tell men quietly in my clinic all the time. If you're dealing with prostate trouble, broken sleep, or constant urgency, it doesn't mean your body has failed you. It's communicating. It's asking for a different kind of support now. What feels like a decline is very often a manageable imbalance. That imbalance can respond beautifully to gentle, consistent care. Real healing doesn't always arrive in a complicated or expensive package. Very often, it comes from simple, steady steps that work with how the body already functions, steps that feel familiar, steps you can control. That kind of care tends to last. This approach represents a dignified way to care for yourself. It's about working wisely with your body's own nature. So, here is my suggestion for you. Commit to trying this for 7 nights, just 7. Follow the simple routine we discussed. Pay close attention to how your body responds during those days, not with anxiety, but with curiosity. Do you notice a slight easing of that pressure? Do you find yourself waking up less often? Small changes often add up faster than you expect when you stay consistent. Often the most effective step we can take is to reconnect with straightforward, timeless wisdom. That wisdom has been here all along. Your path back to more restful nights and greater daily comfort could start with this simple mixture and a little consistent warmth.